Have you ever just wished you could know what someone was really thinking? Well, today, we're going to dive into the world of a mentalist. But not to learn magic tricks. Nope. We're here to uncover the real secrets of connection and influence, skills that can absolutely change the way you navigate your world. So, let's just get right to it. The big question on everyone's mind is, how is it even possible? How do you read what someone is thinking? Is it some kind of superpower, a psychic gift? What's the deal? Well, the answer, coming from the world-renowned mentalist Pearlman himself, might actually surprise you. He is crystal clear about one thing. He can't read minds. His real secret? It's something way more powerful, and honestly, more useful. He reads people. And that's a skill any of us can learn. Okay, so what is this number one secret? The foundation of it all. It's a huge shift in perspective that you can use anywhere, from a stage to a sales meeting. You have to make it all about the other person.
You know, most of us walk into a conversation thinking about ourselves, our pitch, what we want, our goals. Pearlman completely flips this on its head. He talks about using benefits-oriented language. It's the massive difference between saying, hey, here's why I'm so great, and asking, how can I actually provide value to you? That one little shift is the key to connecting with pretty much anyone, instantly.
And this isn't just some theory, right? You see this in action everywhere he goes. If he's on CNBC, he's not doing some random card trick. He's talking about stocks and dividends. If he's with an NFL team, he's predicting game plays. He customizes everything to their world. The lesson here is so clear. To really connect with someone, you have to meet them in their world, not try to drag them into yours.
Okay, so focusing on other people is crucial, but here's the catch. It's only possible after you've mastered your own mind. Pearlman argues that the real work, the hard work, it all happens internally. And it starts with rewiring your brain to handle one of the most powerful human emotions there is.
And what is that number one thing he believes holds people back from getting what they want? It's the fear of rejection. That sting of hearing no, that's what paralyzes us. It stops us from even trying in the first place. So to fight this, he came up with what he calls a life hack for his brain. It's a mental technique he built as a teenager, going from table to table in restaurants, just facing no after no after no. It's all designed to build a thick skin and create a separation between who you are and what you do. So his technique is this 3-step mental process. First, you create a persona. For him, it was Oz the magician. Then, step 2, you reframe rejection. He literally told himself they're not rejecting Oz Pearlman, the person, they're rejecting this character. This creates this amazing emotional distance. But the final step, and this is the most powerful one, he trained his brain to hear every single no as just not yet. And believe me, he lives this stuff. Pearlman got rejected from America's Got Talent not once, but twice before he finally got on the show and became a finalist. That not yet mindset, that's what kept him going. It completely reframes failure. It's not a final verdict, it's just a temporary delay. All right, so once you've built up that inner resilience, that's when you can turn your focus outward. This is what we call the outer game, making a real, lasting impact on others. And for Pearlman, this isn't about doing tricks. It's about creating genuinely memorable moments. Let's start with something we all struggle with, remembering names. Now, Pearlman has a pretty radical take on this. He says, when you forget someone's name, like 5 seconds after you meet them, it has absolutely nothing to do with having a bad memory. The real issue isn't your memory, it's your attention. You never actually heard the name in the first place because while they were saying it, your mind was already racing, thinking, okay, what am I going to say next? You just weren't really listening. So his solution is this super simple 3-part method, inspired by a shampoo bottle of all things. Listen, repeat, and reply. First, you have to genuinely listen, which means you got to quiet your own inner monologue. Second, you immediately repeat their name back to them, saying, Stephen, great to meet you, actually cements it in your brain. And third, you reply with a little comment that creates a mental hook, like, Stephen, I love that shirt. That simple sequence forces you to pay attention, and it makes a world of difference. And this whole idea goes way beyond just names. Pearlman is famous for this. He takes detailed notes after his interactions, writing down little personal things people share. Why? So he can bring them up later, making people feel incredibly seen and heard. He pushes himself to ask questions that kind of jolt people out of their conversational autopilot. You know, it makes the moment unique, and most importantly, it makes them feel like the star of the show. And really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly.
After one of his shows, Steven Spielberg came up to thank him. Pearlman had a million questions for Spielberg, but he never got to ask a single one. Why? Because Spielberg spent the entire time asking him questions. It turns out the most interesting, most successful people are often just the most interested people.
So in the end, the real secret to reading minds isn't a superpower at all. It's just about paying attention. It's about being genuinely curious, and it's about shifting your focus from your world to theirs. So the real question isn't, what are you going to say next? It's, what small detail about another person are you going to choose to notice today?